All right, you guys. Today in class, we learned how to count atoms in a chemical formula. As we discussed today, a chemical formula, which is seen here, is pretty much like an ingredients to a recipe. Scientists wanted a way to shorthandly write a recipe for things, common things that we make, such as hydrogen peroxide, water, sugar, because all things are made up of atoms. So let me go through exactly what we went over today so that you can have some ample amount of time to practice at home. So let's take a look at the recipe for water. Inside of water that we talk about all the time, we have H2 and O. That simply means inside of water we have atoms of hydrogen, and we also have atoms of oxygen, which is represented by the O. Now, we also have these little numbers behind the element. Now, that number is called a subscript. A subscript lets us know how many atoms are in an element. How many atoms of that element is being used in this particular formula. So, in this formula, we see that there are 2 atoms of hydrogen. Now, in oxygen, I notice that there's nothing there. But does that mean that it's not present in the molecule of water? No, it doesn't. It simply means that there's only one. So in H2O, there's only one atom of oxygen, I'm sorry. So let's look at sugar. Sugar is something we all love. We eat it in cakes, cookies, and pies, and all of the sugary things that we love. So what is sugar made of? Sugar is made of C, which is carbon. It's also made of hydrogen and oxygen. So how much to use if we wanted to make one molecule of of sugar? We need the subscript, which says 12 carbons. We need 22 hydrogens, and we also need 11 oxygen atoms. So go over with your student how to do this. They should have some notes in their journals just to clarify what was said in class. The next thing we learned today is how to calculate using a parenthesis. Many of my students said in class today that they remember this process in math because it's called the distributive properties. So let's talk about what that looks like in science. So when you see a parenthesis, you're going to things out, multiply what's on the outside with what's on the inside. Let me show you how that works. So I want to write down what's used in the formula. So I have hydrogen and oxygen in this first formula. So I have H2 and O with having 1. So I'm simply going to multiply everything on the outside with what's on the inside. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 2, which gives me 4. So in this particular formula for water, it's going to be 4 oxygens being used. And then I also have to multiply the second one, which is going to give me 2 times 1. That gives me 2 atoms of oxygen. Let's look at this second one. So I have carbon, I have hydrogen, and I have oxygen. Okay, so here I know I have to multiply what's on the outside of the parentheses by what's on the inside. So 2 times 12 gives me 24. I have 2 times 2, which gives me 4. And I have 2 times 4, which gives me 8. So this is everything we learned on today. Come back tomorrow refreshed with your notes, and we're going to finish practicing how to count atoms. If there are any questions, please, please, please come and ask Ms. Walker on tomorrow, and I will be sure to sit you in a small group, and we will go through how this works. See you tomorrow, you guys. Bye.